Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Shooting the Breeze. I am your friendly neighborhood soda, as always, joined by Ben, Big Fudge Rainer, and returning once again from from the future, from New Zealand, the Kiwi herself, Jess. How are you guys all doing tonight?
Doing good.
I'm doing well. I'm excited to share my thoughts about this movie with you guys.
And tonight's movie that we're going to be reviewing is one of the best send-ups you will find out there, in my opinion. It is basically a pantomime without music. It is Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's a horror movie that turns the horror tropes and flips it on its ears. So, Jess, we watched it last night. What do you think?
It was really good. I love it. I've seen it a couple of times before, but it was really nice to go back and revisit it. It's actually a really great horror film.
Oh, yeah. Same here. It's been a bit since I've watched it, but I, too, have seen it many times. Fun film. A lot of funny lines. Alan Tudyk, as always, is top-notch. And Taylor Labine is great as Dale. It's a fun movie that I can rewatch. But this is the interesting one. Ben, have you seen this movie before?
Never saw it before today.
And what were your thoughts?
It took me a few minutes to get what they were going for.
Okay.
Once I did, I dug it, I think.
Okay.
The frat pack, so to speak, they seem a little one-dimensional, and
I think that was kind of the point that they were going for.
Isn't the killer always one-dimensional? So why not make?
Isn't usually the frat people just all the same in every movie?
Yeah, good point. And I don't know if Dale and Tucker are the two luckiest son of a bitches, or if they're the two unluckiest son of a bitches. I guess it really depends what point of view you look at.
I mean, he gets the girl in the end, so
yeah. So he did something right, but I just think the frat people are just fucking dumb.
Yeah. And there were points of the movie where I can't believe how dumb they were, and I liked it, didn't love it.
Oh, okay.
I liked it, didn't love it.
Okay, what do you think of the gore level? Because I think the kills are great in this movie.
It was great. The kills were great.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody about it, and they thought, don't ask me why, they thought Raimi directed it. But I didn't know the director, so I thought, I don't think Raimi directed it. But knowing he did it, he did not. It totally feels like a Sam Raimi movie to me.
Well, this man, Eli Craig, who directed this movie, directed another movie 3 years later, a TV movie 3 years later for Zombieland.
I thought that was Ruben Fleischer.
No, he directed. I guess it was supposed to become a TV show or something, a pilot. But yeah.
Oh, he directed the pilot Zombieland.
Yeah, I guess so. First time I've heard of it.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
He hasn't really done anything else. That's about it.
Wow.
Oh, he did a movie called Evil in 2017.
I really think this is the most unique movie.
Oh, for sure. It's interesting to see it from the other point of view, for sure.
Taking a look at two hillbillies who no act of their own, seeing them not their fault leading up to some kills, but being involved in killing when they had nothing to do with it. That was great.
It was all circumstance. So shall we hop into the plot then? Because this one is actually detailed, so this should be good.
Take it away, my man.
The film begins with a news reporter and her cameraman investigating a crime scene much further than what was already given, a la the Blair Witch Project. They walk in an abandoned mill, hoping to find some more clues, only for the news reporter to be suddenly struck on the head. The cameraman gets frightened and runs off before being struck as well, dropping his camera and dying moments later. You then get a glimpse of a disfigured man smiling into the camera. 3 days earlier, Allison and her friends, Chad, Jason, Chloe, Naomi, Chuck, Mitchell, Mike, and Todd, are out on a road trip, hoping to find a good time in the woods to party and smoke weed before they rush in front of a truck belonging to Tucker and Dale. Tucker, played by the great Alan Tudyk, Dale, played by Taylor Lean. Okay. The two catch up with their college students, giving them dirty stares for cutting them off and speeding, which was misinterpreted by the students as a threat. Naomi says they forgot to bring the beer, and the college students panic and stop at a store. You guys can cut me off whenever you have a thought.
Got pickled eggs. I didn't even know if pickled eggs were a thing. It's not a thing down here, so I had to genuinely ask if pickled eggs was something made up for the movie.
No, it's something. Isn't it up there somewhere?
Oh yeah, my grandma makes great pickled eggs.
Is it a stereotypical like hillbilly thing, or is it just something that he?
Probably just something like I know, like if you
like
watch,
you know how moonshine is like associated with like
I don't
hillbillies
think
and
so.
whatnot?
Like I know in some movies and TVs, like I've seen them like instead of peanuts, I've seen pickled eggs on the bar and stuff like that. But that might have something to do with it. I honestly don't know.
It might be a regional thing. Because I don't know if they're big in California. I mean, I know of them, but I don't know anybody who's had them.
Well, you do now.
Oh, yeah.
They're fucking great. I love them. I should probably make some.
There you go.
At the store, Chad and Allison walk inside to see Tucker speaking with the store clerk, and the two give each other a stare-off, with Chad and Allison believing they are intimidating them, but in reality, the two hillbillies were intimidated by them. Allison browses the store and catches Dale on the other side of a shelf, who becomes frightened and turns around. Chloe then
He was
comes
watching her.
Oh, yeah. Because he's smitten right off the bat.
Yep.
Mm.
Chloe then comes and confesses to Allison that the place is creepy, and she agrees. After the two leave and Chad purchases beer, Tucker and Dale, who are both munching away at pickled eggs, are putting their supplies in their truck. Dale, who has an inferiority complex, begins staring at the college girls, particularly Allison, and feels that girls like them cannot mix well with a guy like himself. Tucker tries to uplift his friend's spirit and advises to go talk to the girls, telling him to just smile and laugh when he gets nervous. Taking the advice, Dale, while holding a bushwhacking scythe, approaches the girls and attempts to strike up a conversation, laughing nervously while doing so. This easily terrifies the girl, which makes Chad step in and scare off the nervous hillbilly. Because, yeah, that's all you want, some creepy-looking guy standing there with a scythe trying to talk to you.
You know, this premise and seeing what happens to Chad actually goes into our talk from the last really about not all monsters are beasts and not all beasts are monsters. This is totally that, in my opinion.
Sometimes they wear polo shirts.
You're 100% right. Like the guy you like, based on what societal norms you would think would be the good guy, the guy, the preppy guy, the guy dresses nice, got the girl, is really the one with the ugliness on the inside, whereas the one that looks like maybe not belongs to society and what have you is the good guy. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
He even says they hate my face, and I'm like,
nah, he's adorable, Canadian.
Let me ask you guys something. Do you ever, while watching movies, do you ever see a character and imagine who else can play this character?
Mm-hmm.
No, not me. I usually have those discussions outside of watching a movie, but I don't think I've ever had them while watching them.
Because I was watching this movie and I was looking at Dale. I could see when he sat down in the case being him and being really funny being him.
I don't know. Me personally, I don't know. Because it's just because Taylor Labine, like I've actually, he's a Canadian actor, so I've actually watched a lot of his stuff. He was in he was in Reaper, he was in Breaker High, which was one of Ryan Gosling's big breaks. He's done some stuff, and that's just his character is that he easily played that bumbling idiot. Where I'm sure Zach Galifianakis could, but I don't know if he could do the southern part of it.
What about the sweet, like gentle? That's the thing, is that's what would get me, is can he play that real sweetheart?
Yeah.
one that like the girl would really fall for.
I feel like we've seen that from the
Well, there's one movie that I can think of where he ended up trying to woo a girl, and that was The Hangover Part 3.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I had.
The college students continue on their road trip while Tucker and Dale drive to their newly acquired vacation home, which the two were dreaming of getting, all the while Tucker continues giving advice to Dale that life is short, you got to go after what you want. He then drops beer upon his lap, and Dale goes down to clean it up. Suddenly, a cop car is following them, which Tucker slightly panics and pulls over, with Dale struggling to get free, finally pulling himself up without his shirt, as on the cop finally pulling himself up without his shirt as the cop reaches their window. That was harder than it should have been.
That's what he said.
Oh.
I had to.
I left myself wide open and bam.
You walked into that one, Sona. You walked into that one.
That I did.
Sorry, as you were. That was a great moment, though. It was that typical, like, oh, we've been found in a compromising position. It's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like.
In that piecing from Number. That's all that is.
Oh God, the PC, which I do every time I get hit. Every time I drink a strong alcohol and it hits me, that's what I do. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, Tucker hands him his temporary license as he lost his, and a new one is being delivered via mail. The cop begins interrogating the two and asks where they are headed. Tucker states they're heading to their new vacation home in the woods, and the cop warns them to stay away from that place as dangerous things happen there, and tells them they have a busted taillight before leaving. The two finally reach their old cabin, which they call a fixer-upper, seemingly impressed by the shoddy wooden house. The two go inside to see.
They love it. It's great.
Of course.
They call it a mansion. It's amazing.
Oh God, yeah, it probably is to them.
No, but that's what I'm saying is like that whole appreciation.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there that don't appreciate like the things like that. And there's other people that are like, this is the most amazing thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We can go fishing.
Of course. Yeah, go fishing. Yeah, even though one of them never really learned to fish. The two go inside to see bones hanging from the ceiling, which Tucker assumes belong to an archaeologist, and newspaper clippings on a wall, all of which connected to the Memorial Day massacre, but ignored by the two friends as they caught eye of a coupon instead, which was a fucking great.
Doesn't have an expiry date on it either.
Nope. Yes! The cabin is obviously falling apart as when Tucker leans on a pillar, it creaks and a beam of wood with nails poking through the end of it falls. Dale saves Tucker from being impaled through the head, and the two agree to fix that as soon as possible. Meanwhile, the college students set up camp and are sitting around a campfire. Chuck asks if they all want to hear a scary story, which they all...
Before that, one of them asks if a recurring dream about sucking dick makes you gay.
That's right. That's why...
Ben, thoughts?
Yeah. Yes, Ben, what are your thoughts on sucking dick?
No, but like, does a recurring dream about sucking dick make you gay? I wasn't asking him about the cheese.
Yep, I think I broke him again.
Yep. Fantastic.
Oh, I'm getting him back somehow. Somehow, I'm getting him back. I don't know when.
I won't know when. Won't know how. But bring it, my friend. Bring it.
Oh my God.
But I just love it. That's a question that's posed by one of them.
Yes, that
and
is
the group is unanimous. They're like, yeah, it does. It makes you gay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got thoughts.
I don't know. Does it? I don't know.
I don't think it does. I genuinely do not think that dreams always have weight in things. I once had a dream that I was in court and all of the judges were my ex-teachers and they were parrots, but their heads were my teachers.
The peyote must be really strong in New Zealand.
But you see what I mean? Like that doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't. I just think they put it in a cheap shot at that kind of.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean that's.
Because it's always there's always a layer of
There's always
homophobia
one.
with the frat boys generally as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And in a lot of slasher films, they're always very masculine, definitely not gay.
No.
Like tits and ass. That's definitely not in female ass.
Yeah, there's not that many movies with a gay character like that. Like the only one I can
That doesn't
think of,
get killed off very early on.
right.
as
The
well.
most recent, the only one I can think of in recent memory is Freaky,
Mm.
which
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen it. Is so
It's the
much
Vince
fun.
Vaughn one, right?
Vince Vaughn as a teenage girl.
It's a good version of the hot chick.
Yeah,
And Freaky
is.
Friday, it's great. It's that body swap trope, and I love it so much. And it's a different take on it. It's awesome.
I had no
Talking
idea what to
about-
expect.
Talking about body swap folks, have either of you saw The Chase Up with Ryan
have not.
Reynolds
Mhm.
and Jason Bateman?
I
Yeah.
have not known.
That's great as well.
That's a fun movie.
It's
One of
Jason
my-
Bateman though.
Oh yeah. Well, one of my favorite body swap ones is 17 Again with
Well,
Zac Efron and Matthew
And
Perry.
see, I wonder why. I wonder who can be in that movie that make you interested in that movie.
Could it be any more obvious? It's Zac Efron. Come on. No, it's a great movie. I really enjoy watching that movie.
It is a good movie. The trailers make it seem like a basic Disney Channel movie, but there's some real heart and depth in that movie.
Yeah,
And it has a great cast.
For sure. Thomas Lennon is one of my favorite characters. He's trying to peacock the principal the whole time. It's fucking great.
And the principal being Jan from The Office.
Yep.
Mm.
Who was, speaking of body swap, was also in The Hot Chick.
Which?
Yeah, she played the mom.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chuck asks if they all want to hear a scary story, which they all verbally reply no. Chad then comes in and asks if they want to hear a really scary story, which the others comply. He begins taking inhaler. Oh, it's good to hear, Taco. Can't wait to see it. It's actually here this weekend in my theater. I just don't know if I have time to go watch it. He begins taking his inhaler because he has asthma and starts with the Memorial Day massacre, which occurred 20 years ago at the very woods they are camping on. 6 college students were out partying in the woods. I should say in the woods. Come on. In the woods until 2 psychotic hillbillies approach them menacingly. One of them holds a saw blade which he scratches the back of his neck with and flings it at one of the male students, which cuts through the middle of his head. The second comes in and approaches a girl who backs away to a tree and stabs her throat. A blonde girl goes running through the woods and falls down a hill, crawling away and hiding behind a log. She is found by one of the killers and watches as the weapon comes down. The flashback ends with Chad saying no bodies were found, and only one lone survivor lived to tell the story. The whole group looked mortified and terrified until Mike comes in and says there is a lake nearby and asks if they want to go skinny dipping. Relieved by the dramatic... I've never been skinny dipping. I'm too much... Nope, I'm good. In the last 10 years, I think...
Ben, come on, I bet you have.
No.
There was a pause there.
No.
Relieved by the dramatic tension, they all agree. It goes dark, and Tucker and Dale are shown fishing on a boat out on the lake. Yeah, what a Chad, right?
Is that where that came from?
I don't know where that came from, actually.
I'm sure Chad was in like a lot of those movies, like 16 Candles, all of those sorts of ones. Like it was your stereotypical like popular guy name, and then it got turned into something more of being like a Chad.
You know what would be a scary power couple in a horror movie? A Chad and a Karen.
Oh, that's evil. Well, there is that horror movie called Karen.
Yeah, has that come out yet? Has anyone seen it? Is it any good?
Probably not. It's probably one of those you get together with your friends and laugh at movies. Because
Probably like the room.
Probably. It honestly looks like it was made on a similar budget, and to think that that's the mean girl from Orange is the New Black.
Oh, hi, Mark. Has anyone actually done that to
Oh, hi, Mark. I think someone has for sure.
Okay, cool.
To who?
To Taco, because his name is Mark, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
Oh, okay then.
Maybe I knew that. Yeah, whatever. Okay, continue, my man.
Okay, it gets dark, and Tucker and Dale are shown fishing on a boat on the lake, out on the lake. Dale and Tucker reach into their cooler to see that there is only one beer left, in which Dale gives to Tucker, who then advises him to stand up for himself after calling him hopeless. Allison prepares to go skinny dipping and hears a noise. Turning around, she sees that it is Chad scaring her with an axe. She's easily turned off by it, but is approached by the drunk Chad, who begins to tell her to drop the act and pretend to be better than everybody. He then confesses that he's glad the two got to spend time together before trying to kiss her. Allison backs away, telling him he's drunk, which he says is a good thing as it lowers his inhibition. He then tries kissing her again, which makes Allison push him away again before leaving. The rest of the students take off their clothes and drop into the lake, which captures the attention of Tucker and Dale, who can easily see from a distance a topless Chloe. Dale is immediately put off at the thought of being near them, while Tucker tries to row the boat closer to get a better look. Dale attempts to row the other way until Tucker catches a glimpse of Allison taking off her clothes, save for her bra and panties, on top of a rock.
He's doing this.
Yeah, oh god, it was so adorable. So adorable.
Such a gentleman.
Were you smiling on us?
Dale looks away and tells Tucker to row the boat and calls him a peeping Tom. Allison begins climbing down the rock until Dale accidentally shouts Tucker's name, which prompts her to turn around and slip in fear, hitting her head as she falls down in the lake. And oh my god, the thud they used. Oh my lord. That sounded like it hurt. Tucker and Dale briefly argue before they realize she isn't getting back up. The two row their boat to the spot where she fell, and Dale dives in to save her. From a distance, Chloe sees Dale bringing up the unconscious Allison to their boat and screams out in terror. Tucker calls out to the college students, "We got your friend!"
We got your friend!
Taking this as a menacing threat, the students run away, which confuses the two hillbillies. Deciding to take the unconscious Allison back to their cabin, hoping that her friends will come by and pick her up in the morning, the two row away. Chad is shown, again, drunk, back at the campsite, throwing his axe at a tree as target practice. The frightened students tell Chad that they saw the two hillbillies take Allison away. He picks up his axe and runs to the shore, but it is too late as the two hillbillies carry the girl off into the fog. Next morning, Allison wakes up with a bandage wrapping around her head, dazed and confused upon looking her inside the cabin. She spots the bones and a mean-looking, one-eyed dog across the room. Dale then comes in, which terrifies the young girl and panics the shy hillbilly, who only came in to give her pancakes.
He's like, "You don't want pancakes, okay? Okay, no pancakes."
Assuming she didn't like them, he goes back to make something else. Meanwhile, the college students are discussing what they thought they saw when Allison was being carried away, with Chuck saying it looked like one of them was eating her face, an obvious misinterpretation of CPR. Naomi then suggests calling the police, which Chad disagrees with, seeing it as a chance to fight evil without any rules or regulations, remarking, "It's us against them." Chuck volunteers to take his father's truck to find help, which Chad is put off by, but says he can leave if he wants to. Chuck then runs off, much to Chloe's dismay. Jason spots the cabin around the corner and alerts his friends. They all fear approaching the cabin, save for Mitchell, who claims that they may not be psycho killers. Chloe then suggests he should just walk up and knock on their door, which Mitchell snarks at, but reveals he is also afraid. Back at the cabin, Dale returns with eggs and bacon and gives it to Allison. She talk for a while, in which Dale says the cabin is Tucker's new vacation home, introduces himself in the mean one-eyed dog named Jangers, who is actually sweet and tender. He tells her she hit her head after she slipped into the lake, and Tucker and Dale rescued her from drowning. He then says her friends ran off, which he takes it as an immediate reaction to a sudden crisis, and hopes they'll return to pick her up. Throughout their conversation, Dale shows his anxiety from talking to a high-class woman and attempts to clean the place up. Allison asks if there's anything fun to do in the meantime, which Dale suggests a board game. Trivia. So I'm assuming, it's trivia game.
Trivia Pursuit. Don't you have that in Canada?
Dude, I'm not allowed to play Trivial Pursuit.
Why not?
Yeah,
because
okay.
Because I beat a team of 10 people by myself at Trivial Pursuit Pop Culture.
Ah.
So I was banned when I was 19.
Not a fair
by my
fight.
friends.
I get it.
Yeah, they just didn't like losing. Mostly they don't like playing anything I'm good at, so whatever. Bastards. Back to the college students. Chad, Mitchell, Mike, and Todd play rock, paper, scissors to send of their own. Wow, they wrote that fucked up.
Listen.
Back to the college students. Chad, Mitchell, Mike, and Todd play rock, paper, scissors, trying to determine who will go up to the cabin to investigate. Mitchell loses. He fearfully approaches the cabin while Tucker prepares a chainsaw to cut through some wood. He looks up and spots Dale and Allison playing the board game and having fun, which he enviously claims, "Damn, Romeo." He begins cutting through the wood, not knowing a beehive is hiding within, which he accidentally cuts through. The bees swarm Tucker, which prompts him to swing his chainsaw madly and run away from them. Mitchell spots this and mistakes this as being attacked. He yells at his friends to run before running off into the woods himself, with Tucker following. The two run deep until they both turn to briefly look at each other before Mitchell goes straight into a large tree branch, which impales him.
He must have been running like nothing on earth.
Yeah.
Because of how far down he gets impaled. Like, we're not talking like a little bit. We're talking he goes clean through.
Yeah, clean through. He has to be running faster than Usain Bolt. Like, the momentum you would need to... Well, no, that's not necessarily true. Like, a little bit of a side thing, but actually my grandma's dog died in a similar way. She was running in the woods and she jumped over a log, and that's what happened. I don't know if it went all the way through, but I know
that's also gravity then working because of the downward force.
Yeah,
jumped over and onto him.
I would also imagine it would matter how sharp and how tall the wood is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's sharp. You're going through.
Yeah. Welcome to never mind. Continue. I'm going to make a bad joke. Continue.
This is the right place for a bad joke. There, almost called you Dale for some whatever reason. Okay, then.
Wow.
Tucker? Did that make you Tucker? If anything, I'm Tucker.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. If anything, you're Tucker and I'm Dale in this situation.
Yeah.
So what does that make you, Allison?
I'm just here, I guess.
Well, you're dressed in the shirt, so the two run deep until they both turn to briefly look at each other before Mitchell runs straight into a large tree branch. Okay, read that part. Tucker continues running away from the bees, and a dying Mitchell spots a lone bee hovering near him and has a look of realization before dying. Meanwhile, Allison and Dale continue their game of trivia, where Dale reveals that he has a weird brain, which is extremely dumb, but can remember everything he hears.
He's got a fine brain.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And that made me happy.
Yeah, it's so endearing. Like, that's basically what Dale is in this movie. He's such an endearing, earnest character. Like, innocence.
He really is a focal point of the movie. Tucker.
Yeah.
I don't want to say side character, but his wingman?
Mentor?
Wingman.
Yeah, wingman, for a very bad wingman, but a wingman nonetheless.
Yeah, he's the one that encourages to keep trying. He doesn't just go, oh yeah, you can't. You've got like, because even when at the end he asks him like, did you ask her out? And they're super disappointed that he didn't. So he was always rooting for him. He's great.
Okay, fair point. Okay,
in other words, Matt, to help you, Dale is Ted and Tucker is the Barney.
The Barney who the bad things happen to. Yes, I agree. Allison remarks that he isn't dumb, and that makes him quite brilliant, telling him there is a difference between education and intellect. Mm-hmm. She tells Dale, it's 100% true. Like, I know people in my life that like to brag that, they have high IQs, they place in the top of their class, but they're just as dumb as the rest of us. Members of my own family. She tells Dale that she plans on getting a bachelor's degree in psychology. She admits that it's a dumb dream, but Dale professes that dreams aren't dumb and supports her. Tucker then comes in, I love this. Tucker then comes in, swollen-faced and angry at Dale for not helping him. He goes to the cooler to wash his face with beer as Dale goes to take out the string. Apparently my food's coming back. Dale goes to take out the stingers. He tells Allison that... attractive, isn't it? Huh? He tells Allison that he saw her friend out there running away, which he assumed must be because he was allergic to bees. Allison tries to go out there and finds them, but Dale tells her to rest and that both Tucker and himself will find them. The college students find Mitchell's body hanging from the branch and see it as a warning from the hillbillies to stay out of their woods. This provokes Chad even further into insanity by breaking Chloe's phone and throwing his axe, which nearly hits Jason. They then hear Tucker and Dale approaching and hide behind a tree. They listen in on a conversation of Dale beating Allison at a game of trivia and mistakes it as him torturing their friend. Tucker then he calls out college kids, which terrifies them.
College kids. College kids.
He repeatedly calls them out louder until the two decide to leave them a message with Chad's axe in case they return. Dale engraves
your friend.
Dale engraves the message on the log and leaves behind the axe. When the coast is clear, the college kids walk up to see the message. We got your friend, and it's spelled with a U-R. At the cabin, Tucker is chipping away wood via the wood chipper while Dale digs a hole for the outhouse. Allison, who refashioned Dale's clothes to fit her. Yep. Allison, who refashioned.
50.
Yeah, that's true.
It's still a safe space for 50.
It is. It'll always be a safe space, but I don't know how much he likes horror movies. Allison.
I put myself.
Did you just say you wet yourself?
No, he broke himself.
Oh, I was like, what?
You asshole.
You good?
Okay. Continue.
Okay, where was I?
We got
Try
your
this
friend.
once again. Allison, who refashioned Dale's clothes to fit her, approaches him and volunteers to help out, which Dale refuses, but is surprised to see the high-class college girl able to dig at an outhouse hole. She confesses she grew up on a farm and had to work there. The college students return, hiding behind some bushes, and see Allison digging away at a hole while Dale watches in amazement. They quickly assume she's digging her own grave. Todd holds his spear, Chad readies his axe, and Mike prepares his pocket knife, and they split up into three groups, with Mike, Chloe, and Naomi going after Tucker, Todd going after Dale, and Chad and Jason remain where they are. Once they all get into position, Chad makes his call to charge, which catches Dale's attention and sees Chloe and Naomi from a distance. He calls out to them as Allison hears Todd charging at Dale with a makeshift spear. She calls out Dale's name, which makes him turn to see Todd before accidentally knocking Allison out with a shovel and slipping into the outhouse hole next to an unconscious Allison. Todd then trips on a branch, flings the spear up next to Dale, and falls onto it. That was grody. That was an interesting kill. As this is occurring, Mike sneaks behind Tucker, who is casually throwing wood into the wood chipper, and takes out his pocket knife. He flings forward, preparing to stab him, but timed it wrong when Tucker bent down to pick up another log and fell headfirst into the wood chipper. Tucker panics as blood spurts out and splatters all over Chloe. He grabs hold of the legs and tries to pull Mike out, but to no avail. The machine shuts down, and a friend Tucker ignorantly asks, "Are you okay?" before frustratingly kicking the machine. Dale, covered in Todd's blood, runs into the cabin with an unconscious Allison and panics at what he just saw. Tucker follows, covered in Mike's blood, and the two panic and contemplate that the college students must be some sort of psychotic suicide pact and runs around the woods killing themselves, because that's the logical explanation.
Yeah.
They hide all the sharp objects in hopes of avoiding any more needless deaths. Like, they really are the sweetest hillbillies.
You know what would have been funny? If the three college guys were named Michael, Jason, and Freddie.
Okay. Or if you really want to go for the 80s college boy look, you can name one Chad, one Michael, and one Murray.
Yeah, but I
got the joke.
I understood that reference.
And yet, crickets.
Yeah, because it was funny.
Okay, then. Dale suggests calling the cops, but Tucker claims that it would only bring more trouble as it can label the two as killers, adding that only a moron would believe college kids are killing themselves on their property. Tucker then suggests hiding the bodies. College kids regroup, with Chloe desperately trying to light a cigarette while covered in Mike's blood, and Naomi asking why didn't they go for help before, all the while Chad is casually sharpening his axe. They all agree to go get help except for Chad, who wants to continue his survival game. He remarks that it is us against them and says that they must destroy evil in order to live, and anyone who tries to run deserves to die, which disgusts Jason. Suddenly, they hear sirens from the distance. Chuck is inside the passenger seat of the cop car, the same one that pulled Tucker and Dale over, and breaks upon seeing Chloe approaching them. Naomi, Chloe, and Jason hurry into the back, with Chad cursing at them from afar and running off on his own lawn. Dale and Tucker, in the meantime, try to get Mike's lower half out of the wood chipper, which makes Dale very queasy, because, duh, the success...
This bit killed me.
Oh, yeah,
One
with
of them talk to the cop without having the money beside them. Oh, my God. And them taking the cop inside, and I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew that cop was going to end up dead somehow.
Because of course he has to.
Yeah, everybody has to.
Like, the cop wasn't going to just walk out and be like, bye. So in order for the plot to continue, he'd have to be taken out of the equation, unfortunately.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, I'm sorry for interrupting you so long.
All good. That's the point. You guys are supposed to interrupt me, so it's not just me talking, because I need to relax my voice.
Okay.
Tucker and Dale, in the meantime, try to get my... shit. Okay. They successfully take it out and drag it out, only to see the cop car stop in front of them. The sheriff tells the kids to stay in the car while he goes and takes care of business. He then begins to interrogate the two hillbillies, with Tucker doing most of the talking. Without a proper excuse, Tucker merely comes out with the truth, that the college kids are psychos and are killing themselves all over their property. An afraid Dale begins to blabber out that Allison, who is inside their bedroom, unconscious in their cabin, can tell him, which frustrates Tucker and makes the sheriff that much more suspicious. The two lead him into the cabin, which makes the college kids panic. Inside, the sheriff investigates Allison's conditions and says she's not brain dead and will recover. He then tells the two that he warned them about the woods and tells them to stay away. The sheriff confesses that the two could be taken in for involuntary manslaughter if they are lucky, and as he is saying this, he leans on a weak wooden pillar, which Tucker and Dale both warn him about, but is too late as the beam comes flying down with the nail board and impales the sheriff through the head. Still alive and managing to step outside, the sheriff lugs to his car as Tucker, Dale, and the college kids look on in fear and attempt to call for help via radio before falling dead. Dale and Tucker argue over fixing that beam, while Naomi, Chloe, and Jason panic from the back as they are locked inside. Chuck, from the passenger seat, spots the sheriff's gun and rolls outside to shoot at the two hillbillies. Seeing that the gun isn't firing, Dale, in panic, suggests that the safety might still be on, and Chuck stupidly turns the gun around for the safety.
Okay, I have that.
Let me finish the sentence first.
Okay.
Points the barrel towards his head, accidentally pulling the trigger as he turns off the safety, and this legit says this: "Goodbye, Chuck."
On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being average, 10 being incredibly stupid. How stupid was that?
Negative.
11.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. No, I agree. That's 11. That's fucking dumb.
It's the first rule of gun safety. You never point it like towards anyone or towards yourself.
Yeah. So,
the first rule is never point it towards anybody. The second rule is never point it against yourself. Yeah.
So years ago, me and my friends, we went over to a friend's house, and my friend Chris found an airsoft gun, and it was it looked like a Glock. And so the pellets were in there, but he couldn't get to fire. So dumbass does this and shoots himself in the fucking hand. Anyways.
Well, all I can think of when you said that is the movie The Royal Tenenbaums.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you have.
I'll add it to the list.
Yes, have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Ben Stiller?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Won't spoil it.
Yeah, and that movie, Soda. You'll love it.
He's actually putting it on the list.
I am. Yes. Okay. Tucker yells at the kids to be more careful as Chad comes in from behind.
I mean, he is.
Yeah. Chad comes in from behind, picks up the gun, and starts shooting at them. Dale and Tucker run inside and lay on the ground in order to avoid the gunshots. Tucker blames Dale for the situation they're in, and Dale responds by saying that they shouldn't have gone fishing, which he confesses to hate. This hurts Tucker's feelings, and more shots are fired until they hear a dog bark outside. Tucker asks where Janger is, which makes Dale panic, crawls through the window, and see that Chad is holding the dog hostage with the other three, now freed from the car watching.
That makes you an evil person in my books. The moment you start like messing with animals,
yeah, you're done.
You should die.
The moment you start messing with animals is the moment I call on you.
Yeah, I'll agree. Call the Baba Yaga, of course. Tucker then comes up with a plan to have Dale use the nail gun to create a distraction while Tucker himself goes outside and frees Janger. The two make their move as Dale shoots the nail gun close to the kids, but not at them. Tucker runs around from behind and uses camouflage to reach Janger. As both Dale and Chad shoot at each other, Tucker successfully reaches Janger as Chad runs out of bullets and threatens Dale's dog. Tucker frees the dog, but is caught by the ignorant college kids. Tucker runs into the woods in fear and is chased by the kids. He hides behind a log, much like the woman in the Memorial Day massacre, and attempts to camouflage. It works until Chad spots him and knocks him out with a punch. Moments later, Tucker wakes up to see himself dangling upside down from a tree. He remarks to them, "What the hell is wrong with you kids?" Which provokes Chad, who tells Jason to hold him steady and says that Tucker's pure evil, before proceeding to chop off his fingers for their fallen friends. Ouch. Back in the cabin, Allison wakes up to see Dale wiping her head and covered in blood. She asks what happened, and Dale cannot seem to tell her, crying in shock and anxiety. She comforts him and calms him down. Dale then asks if her friends are crazy before telling her that they had been killing themselves, then tried to kill Tucker himself before trying to kill his dog. She then remembers Todd running at them with a spear and begins to look confused. Dale says that her friends seem to enjoy killing and panics that when the door starts banging. She tries to calm him down by saying her friends would never hurt anybody, but then hears Chad scream, "Die hillbilly," from the outside. She goes out to check and sees the corpses of the sheriff and her friends and is repulsed. She looks down to see a bloodied cloth on the doorstep. Allison comes back in and Dale recognizes the cloth to belong to Tucker's shirt. They unwrap it to see two bloody fingers and a note. The note says, "Now we got your friend. Try and get him back."
Arrgh.
Yep.
It's a very, very detailed explanation.
Yeah.
It is. Dale.
You want help?
Nope, I can do it. I can do it. Almost there.
Power through, man. Power through.
Let's do this. Dale musters up his courage and decides to go out and save Tucker. He grabs a machete and prepares to walk out. Allison tries to stop him, saying they shouldn't instigate things, and defends her friends by saying they must be trying to protect her. Dale gets offended and asks why would they think such things. Allison confesses it is because he is a hillbilly and both her and her friends misjudged him. Dale seems to accept this and depresses him. It depresses him. Before he departs, he asks Allison to tell her friends he is harmless and never wanted to hurt anybody. Dale goes out into the woods, calling out Tucker's name and holding his machete. He comes across puddles of blood and Tucker's hat and sees the corpse of Mitchell still dangling from the branch. Shaken, Dale presses onward when he hears Tucker respond to his calls. He sees Tucker dangling upside down, which how long did he leave him there? He should have bled out by now.
Maybe it wasn't that much blood. I don't know.
Maybe they cauterized his wounds.
Yeah, why not? Maybe he had a knife in his hand.
They're not that nice.
Well, I mean, it was okay.
He sees Tucker dangling upside down and approaches him. As he's walking, Tucker tells him it's a trap and Dale accidentally sets it off. Thankfully, he stood still and the makeshift spear only cut through his pant legs. He cuts down Tucker, who falls headfirst on the ground and comments that their vacation sucks. Now, I just want to say one of the best lines in this movie was white with a spear hit, and he's like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I am glad I'm not hung like a bear.
Yep. I laughed out loud.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah. There's a reason I wear baggy pants as well. Night comes, and Chad and Naomi sneak into the cabin looking for Allison. They creep in and see her standing in the bedroom and whispers to her. When they are notified that nobody else is here, they calm down and speak normally. Chad asks her what they did to her, which she replies that she's perfectly fine and all this has been a huge misunderstanding. Chad ignores this and proceeds to burn the cabin down. Allison yells at him to stop and that it is their vacation home. Chad becomes enraged and tries to persuade Allison that Tucker and Dale are evil men and that he was trying to save her. She retorts by saying they saved her life. Naomi makes a comment that Allison developed Stockholm Syndrome, which angers Chad. He questions Allison on whether she has truly fallen in love with Dale. He lunges at her with his axe until Tucker and Dale rush in to save her. They both prepare to lunge at each other with their weapons until Allison comes between them and tells them both to calm down, sit, and drink tea, which Tucker makes a sarcastic remark that he'll bring out the finger sandwiches. She sits Chad on one end of the table and Dale on the other and begins serving them tea. Chad asks her if it's chamomile tea and says that he cannot drink it if it is as it'll harm his asthma. God damn. She says it's Earl Grey. After serving, they really did over detail this. After serving tea, she begins the therapy session. She will allow both sides to tell their sides of the story and to consider the perspective. Chad complies and begins way back before he was born 20 years ago during the Memorial Day Massacre. His parents were among partying college. Sorry, clearing the throat. What, did it look funny or?
No, it's just that like we're still got like the climax of the film to go.
Mm-hmm. Ouch. His parents were among the partying college kids who were killed by the two hillbillies. His mother, revealed to be the blonde woman who ran away into the woods, only to be caught by one of them, was the lone survivor in the massacre. She was brought back to camp where she lied next to her lover, Chad's father, who didn't know she was pregnant with Chad and reached for a knife in the toolbox next to her. With it, she tried freeing him. Where one of the hillbillies tried grabbing her, she stabbed him in the leg and escaped. This caused the hillbilly to throw Chad's father into the incinerator and watched him burn to death. The woman eventually birthed Chad and had to be institutionalized afterwards. He heard the story from his grandmother. Almost there. As the flashback ends and Chad explains why he holds deep hatred towards hillbillies, Dale defends himself and Tucker by saying they were much too young to be a part of such an event and says that he's harmless, saying he could even hurt a fish. Outside, Jason and Chloe sneak around to a window, claiming that if Chad and Naomi had not returned in 15 minutes, the two of them would charge in. Allison asks how both of them feel about after telling their stories. Dale admits he feels better. Suddenly, Jason barges in with a weed whacker and charges towards Tucker, who narrowly dodges the spinning blades. Jason accidentally strikes Naomi's face and begins mutilating her. Chad throws the table forward onto Dale and tries hacking him with an axe, only to be punched by Tucker. Chad grabs a lit lamp and throws it at the two, but misses and accidentally hits Jason's leg. He catches on fire and begins to panic, with Tucker and Dale advising him to stop, drop, and roll. Because, of course, that's your usual reaction. Stop, drop, and roll. Chloe grabs a jar and tries to douse the fire, only to ignite Jason even further. He flings himself around madly and finally falls over, burning to death, and igniting the gasoline Chad was pouring moments earlier. Shocked, Chloe lights a cigarette next to the pile of gasoline cans, which Dale admits that he should have moved those earlier. Tucker, Dale, and Allison make a run for it, followed by Chad, but is held by Naomi, who is begging for his help. The cabin explodes, and that was a gross-looking image, her with like half her face gone, like, ugh. The cabin explodes as the three narrowly make it out, killing Jason, Chloe, Chad, and Naomi. Tucker and Dale stare shocked at their vacation home incinerating, and Allison states that she is a terrible therapist, which Dale disagrees with. Just as things calm down, Chad emerges, half of his body burned. The three run to the pickup truck and try to start the truck as Chad slowly limps to them, axe in hand. They finally get it started and drive away as Dale mocks the college kids. He loses his focus and drives into the tree. Come sunrise, Dale and Janger reach an abandoned lumber mill. Oh, I totally skipped the paragraph. Dale wakes up with Janger licking him. This is a lot. Dale wakes up with Janger licking him and sees that Allison is missing and Tucker lying beside a tree, bleeding heavily. He approaches his friend and tries to help him. He tells Dale that Chad took Allison away and to go after her, much to Dale's dismay. He admits to him that he was always better at everything, and he sees the way Allison and Dale look at each other. Proclaiming their friendship, Dale promises to return for Tucker and runs off with Janger, who can lead him to Allison. Come sunrise, Dale and Janger reach an abandoned lumber mill. He leaves behind Janger and presses on alone. Chad tied Allison up to a log next to a saw, a classic Western villain. True, that is how they used to do it.
Yep.
He says that she turned hillbilly
train
on
tracks.
him. Oh yeah, totally. He says that she. Right, Dudley, do right. That's the one.
Oh, then he was making make old
Which. That's a mustache that belonged to the past. I'm sorry, it looks stupid in 2021. That's just me. I
can't grow one, so I wouldn't know.
Hold on. Who
That's
has
true.
one?
But no,
Who has one?
I've seen a lot of people have
Hipsters.
one. Hipsters.
Uh,
It's just to me,
No.
it seems out of place. It just to me, it seems out
yeah,
of place.
no, you're right. I can't imagine anybody having one.
Yeah, no, I've seen a few people have them.
What did I want to say? Damn, I wanted to bring something up. Oh, the half-face Chad remind me of two things. Two-Face
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and Terminator Genesis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Kenny Smith.
Yeah. I don't hate that movie. That is an awful movie. I don't hate the first half of that movie.
I didn't mind it. I'm just still pissed that they ruined the big reveal in the trailer. That's the only thing that pissed me off.
Okay. I want to bring this up. They did the same thing in T2. They did the same exact thing.
Okay, but I didn't watch T2 when it came out, so I don't know that.
No, I'm telling you, they did the same thing.
Oh, okay, fair point, but it doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't make it right. I'm just saying. If you do that for Genesis, you're fine. Whatever.
Okay. Chad, he says that she turned hillbilly on him, and if she begs and apologizes, he will let her go and kisses her. Ugh, it's like kissing a burnt piece of chicken. Feeling that the kiss wasn't right, he decides to give her a second shot and licks her face, because of course a crazy person would. He hears banging from outside and smiles. Outside, Dale breaks open the tool shed and straps himself up with various weapons. He equips himself with a welder's mask and a chainsaw before charging in. Inside, Allison gets frightened by Dale's appearance and he reveals himself to her. Using a knife, he attempts to cut the ropes, while Chad starts the intercom and begins making threats to Dale and Allison. The machine starts, and the log Allison is tied slowly begins to saw it vertically in half. Dale continues to struggle with the ropes until Chad appears and attacks Dale. He throws his axe at him, but misses, and the two fight each other. Chad with a metal pipe and Dale with his chainsaw. Chad gains the upper hand until Dale stabs him in the leg with a knife strapped to his boot and elbows him in the stomach, reaches forward, grabs the axe, and with a lucky throw, cuts Allison's rope loose. Like, that was luck.
Okay. Dale and Tucker are the two luckiest on some pictures in movie history.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
With the girl away from danger, Chad and Dale continue their fight, and Dale throws his chainsaw at him to keep him off balance. Allison and Dale run upstairs and locks the door behind them. Dale looks around for something to stab Chad with while something catches Allison's eye. Allison calls out to him as he looks at a box of chamomile tea and shows him an old newspaper. The headline states that one of the killers on the Memorial Day massacre was caught by some policemen, one of them happening to be the same sheriff back at the cabin. The killer bared strong resemblance with Chad. It is revealed through the article that the survivor was tortured and raped before being freed. Chad suddenly emerges with a chainsaw and threatens the two. Dale is knocked to the ground, and just as when Chad prepared for the killing blow, Dale shows him the newspaper article and says that he too is hillbilly.
He's half hillbilly.
Yeah, that's apparently, which is a major insult to him. It's like you might as well told him his grandmother was a whore. Refusing to accept this, Allison remarks that he is indeed half hillbilly. Just as Chad is occupied with the newspaper article, Dale attempts to grab hold of the box of chamomile tea. Chad grows angry and proclaims that everything is a lie and lunges forward. Dale grabs some of the tea powder and flings it at Chad. His asthma begins to act up, and Dale reveals that he won't be harmed just as Chad steps backward through a window and falls to the ground. Allison and Dale look down and see Chad presumably dead. Night comes as a squadron of cops investigate the mill. The reporter and her cameraman then appear in the beginning of the film, report a mass suicide of college students, and a deranged killer that is responsible for it remains at large. Tucker watches this as he recovers from a hospital. Dale comes in, clean and well-groomed, and sees how his friend is doing. Tucker reveals he got his fingers back, and high from prescription medication reveals that one of his fingers looks different. It appears as though they got Chloe's finger with a red painted nail and mistook it as Tucker's and sewed it onto him. Poor fucking Tucker. Couldn't buy a break in this movie. Dale brings his friend cold beer with a bendy straw and reveals that he's going out bowling with Allison. Tucker congratulates his friend for overcoming his fear of women. At the bowling alley, Allison proves to be a fantastic bowler. One of Dale's friends, BJ, who seeks advice on how to get women such as Allison to like him, asks Dale for help, who gives him the same advice Tucker gave him a few days earlier. He directs BJ to go talk to one of the young women playing with her friends not too far away. As he leaves, Allison and Dale are left by themselves. Dale gives Allison a gift, a pink helmet that suits her accident-prone nature, and the two confess love for each other before kissing. And in the back, BJ accidentally knocks out one of the women and starts to carry her, but the two continue kissing. I love that background moment. Just out of sort of where, and that ends the movie. We got credits. My throat is shot. Thank you, yay! Ay caramba. Okay, so that brings an end to the movie. Yeah,
Good movie. I enjoyed it.
Me too.
I love Dale.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, I love Tucker and Dale are great. And Alan Tudyk is a great actor.
Yeah,
great
but Dale's
actor.
my favorite.
Oh, for sure.
His characterization was fantastic because you just want to.
Taylor Levine was perfect for this role.
What's your favorite Alan Tudyk movie? Both of you.
Serenity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a leaf on the wind.
Dodgeball in there. He was great. He was great.
He's Steve the Pirate.
Yeah, that's mine.
No, he was great in the American version of Death at a Funeral.
Oh, Peter.
Yeah.
No, it was in the British version.
Right, he was the British version. James Marsden was in the American. Yeah. Yes, great. The British version. Oh, he was great in that.
Yeah, mine is Steve the Pirate. I also like him in that NBC show Powerless.
I didn't watch it.
Where he played Bruce Wayne's idiot cousin.
Okay, well, we have got to end this show because coming up is something important. Let's kick a dip into the bud right now. Jess, where can everybody find you?
Coming up next on the All Night Taco Stand, I'm going to be unofficial official co-host. So you're going to get used to this mug for like 7 hours. So
yeah, unfortunately, I have to go to bed before then. Ben, where can everybody find you?
Right there in the All Night Taco Stand. I'm kicking it off right after this.
Any other shows you want to promote, or do you want me to do all the promoting here? I'll take it over. You can find Ben on his.
You're not enough. Let me do it, please. You can find me and Soda every Saturday on Get Ready on Monday.
With 50 Shades of Geek. Let's not forget him in there.
Yeah, and 50 Shades of Geek. And Monday with Professor and 50 Shades of Geek on Recapping Space and Time, right here on Shooting the Breeze. You can find me on Full Night in Canada on this channel, and same as Matt. Also on this channel, you can find me on Matt Slowdown. We just had a great episode of Video 2 last weekend. This weekend I was covering Miracle. And yeah, that's about it.
And as for myself, you can find me on my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. You can find me in all the shows that Ben has mentioned, except for Mount Schmodown. I guest on there. I do not appear regularly. Saturdays, normally you could find me producing the Let's Talk About Star Wars, our Star Wars show on this channel, which is going into another 2-week hiatus just based on Taco's work schedule. So tonight, after the show, in about 10 minutes, will be the second edition of the All Night Taco Stand, which is when Taco decides he wants to stay up all night in order to flip his sleep schedule, and he streams with all his friends on the internet. I'll be on a bit later. Jess and Ben will be on right at the beginning, and you'll see all other favorite personalities for, like Chris Lopez for The Real. You'll see Jay Wade. You'll see some of other familiar faces on this channel. It's a great time. Shenanigans happen. I walked in at a weird time last time. Let's just say involved something I didn't.
There's gonna be more weird times where that's coming from.
Let's just say it's a side of Jay I did not want to see.
Well, okay, let me be honest here. When he started talking about cannibalism on their show, were you really that surprised?
Yes. Yes, I was surprised. Okay, that's the one that surprised me. But yeah, so it just wasn't expected. It was walked in at the wrong moment. So yes, everybody, you can join us there. So don't forget to like and subscribe to this video, like and subscribe to this channel, and we will see you next week on another edition of Shooting the Breeze, where we will be reviewing the Michael Myers-less Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. We will be joined by Taco was supposed to be on, and our friend Frenchie is also going to be on that one. So definitely check it out, and we will see you next week on Shooting the Breeze. Talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.